In this lesson, we shall learn how to carry out mathematical operations on fractions. And let's start by looking at addition and subtraction of fractions. Now, before adding or subtracting fractions, it is important to first make sure that the denominators are equal. In case they are not, we make sure they're equal by finding the LCM. And let's look at some examples of how we could add or subtract fractions. First example says evaluate 3 out of 5 plus 1 out of 5. Now, before we add or subtract fractions, we need to make sure they have the same denominator. And these already have the same denominator, and it becomes very easy. 3 out of 5 plus 1 out of 5 will be, just put the 5 down and just add the numerators. If the denominators are the same, just add the numerators. So be 3 plus 1. So the result is 4 out of 5. This is the same idea we could use in subtraction. Evaluate 3 over 5 minus 1 out of 5. Before you subtract any fractions, make sure the denominator is the same. Here it's already the same, so we just subtract the numerators. 3 minus 1 gives us 2 out of 5. Work out 2 over 5 plus 3 out of 4. Now we have 2 over 5 plus 3 out of 4. It's obvious that the denominator is not the same. This is 5, this is 3. So we need to first make sure the denominator is the same. And to do that, we find the LCM of 5 and 4. We can do it as side work. It gives us 20. If you can't find the LCM, then you could just multiply the numbers. 5 times 4 will give us 20. Okay, so let's add 20 divided by 5, that's 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 20 divided by 4, that's 5. And 5 times 3 is 15. So we shall end up with 23 over 20. And it's more convenient to express our answer as a mixed fraction. 20 goes into 23 once, leaves a remainder of 3. So if we convert to a mixed fraction, this is what we get. Evaluate a half minus a quarter. So we have a half minus a quarter. LCM is not the same. Sorry, the denominator is not the same. So we first find the LCM, which is 4. The LCM of 2 and 4 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times this 1, that's 2. Minus 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 minus 1 is a quarter. So when we subtract a half minus a quarter, we get a quarter. Now, multiplication of fractions. When multiplying fractions, the numerators are multiplied with each other, and the denominators are also multiplied with each other. Then after that, we simplify the resultant fraction. evaluate 2 over 3 times 1 out of 7. So 2 over 3 times 1 out of 7 will be, we multiply the numerators, that's 2 times 1. We also multiply the denominators, that's 3 times 7. And this gives us 2 over 21. That's how we multiply fractions. 3 over 10 times 15 over 2. When we're multiplying fractions, we multiply the numerators, that's 3 times 15, and the denominators alone. This gives us 45 out of 20, which is the same as, if you convert it to a mixed fraction, 20 goes into 45 twice. That would be twice 2 whole numbers, and then leaves a remainder of 5, and 5 over 20. Could have reduced it from the start. This is the same as still, because we could reduce by 5 by 5, that would have given us around, this is 9 over 4. And we could now convert to be 2 whole numbers and 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4. Same as 2 whole numbers, 1 out of 4. Let's look at division of fractions. When dividing fractions, fraction being divided is multiplied by the reciprocal of the dividing fraction. Let's look at how to do that. Evaluate 2 over 5 divided by 3 over 7. So we have 2 out of 5 divided by 3 out of 7. Every time we're dividing fractions, we get this fraction 2 over 5 and multiply it by the reciprocal of this dividing fraction. The reciprocal of this, we said, is you change what is the numerator to become the denominator, and what is the denominator to become the numerator. So it's going to be 7 over 3. And we know how to add, to multiply fractions now. Multiply the numerators. 2 times 7 is 14 out of 5 times 3 is 15. So when we divide 2 over 5 by 3 over 7, we get 14 over 15. Evaluate 5 over 21 divided by 3 over 8. 5 over 21 divided by 3 over 8. When we're dividing fractions, we get this fraction, then multiply it with the reciprocal of the one dividing, that's 8 over 3. And when we're multiplying two fractions, we said we multiply the numbers up alone and then the numbers down alone. Then we simplify where necessary. So 5 times 8 is 40. 21 times 3 is 63. So the fraction becomes 40 over 63. We need to note that when carrying out mathematical operations on fractions, it's always advisable that if there are mixed fractions involved, we first turn them into improper fractions.